Okay. Oh, yep. All right. Hey guys, sorry for that awkward start there. But we're back. I'm wearing a hat now. I feel much better about myself. Um, let's talk about the second day of month number 13, and what a day it was. Let me tell you. Last night I tried to go to bed on time, and I ended up falling asleep around 2, which was still considerably earlier than last month. And I ended up waking up late today. I was supposed to wake up at like 8:15, but I got up at like 8:35 and class starts at 9. So I'm freaking out. I jump out of bed, I race and get in the shower, and I get out, and I yeah, basically I had to rush. I didn't get to eat breakfast. Um and actually, I don't know if you've noticed, but I got my nose pierced the other day, so I'm still mad awkward with this thing. Like I haven't quite developed a habit. And I got in the shower and I was doing the eye rub, and I accidentally wiped down my nose and ripped the thing like halfway out. It hurts so bad, and I had to push it back in. Oh god, that woke me up for sure. I mean, it hurt pretty bad. And then I had to get out of the shower, and I'm still trying to figure out how to clean this thing good, and keep it nice and clean so it doesn't get all crazy. And then what else? I got dressed, no breakfast, packed the bag, out the door. It was raining and muggy as anything outside. I walk into class, and like apparently, you had to get there early to sign up for lab groups. Like you had to show up to class early, and there were only 5 or 6 spots per lab. And my friend Kevin wanted classes that were like immediately after lecture. Um, like he wanted pretty much lecture to be on the same day as labs, or vice versa, I guess. And apparently he wasn't allowed to sign me up for the group because I was like, dude, sign me up. And he was like, I can't. He won't let me. Um, so I ended up getting signed up for lab group 6, which has probably the shittiest lab times. So you might have heard me mention before, all of my lectures start at 9 a.m. and they last until about 1 p.m. All of my labs for session recording start at 9 p.m. and last until 1 a.m. So I've got what's called the donut schedule, if you will, because it's basically they're 12 hours apart from each other, which it freaking sucks, to put it nicely. So I got a feeling come break, I'm not going to be getting very much sleep. Naps are going to be my friend for sure. So I was kind of bummed at it at first, but then okay, I'm not done yet. So I signed up for this lab group, and I signed up for lab group 6 because I didn't know what groups had what time, so I just signed up for the one that had nobody else in it. So I have no idea who's actually in my lab group. But anyway, so I've got these crappy lab times, and I thought it was gonna really suck. And I'm kind of half expecting it to. But it ended up being a very serendipitous moment because I signed up for this lab group not knowing what time the labs were going to be, but they ended up being perfectly placed to allow me to do some other things at the end of the month that I'd been hoping to do. For example, the last week of session recording, which is, let me check, opening up iCal. Let's see. So the last week, yeah, so from July 23rd to 26th, Winter Park High School is having a percussion camp, and I plan on showing up and being like, hey, I'm here to be a quad tech. If you would like, I will work for free. I can make your quad line a lot better, etc. So those camps are from like 2 to 6 p.m., and so I've got lecture just before that and lab way after that. So that's perfect. It was placed excellently. I should be able to work with it. I can dig it. So that worked out fine, and I'm happy because I'm like, hey, I can go teach now, and get some experience on me as far as that goes. Because I figure that's probably going to be the first thing I do when I get out of Full Sail, go teach drums, to be honest, not do any audio stuff. Because, I mean, I'm hoping to go march with the Crossmen next year. So we'll see how all that works out. But yeah, the lab groups, I've spent like 5 minutes talking about that, so Yeah, I've just got crappy lab times, kind of, but not really. So, as far as the class goes, let me warn you, this might be a little bit of a long video because there is a lot that goes into this month. So let me just start out by saying that this is the month where the idiots and the kids who are, and I am not hating at all, but all the people who are here to just make beats and call themselves a producer, this is the class that they are going to get weeded out and they are going to fail and get held back. Now, obviously, take that with a pinch of salt because you never know. Those types of people might actually be here for a reason, you know what I'm saying? But for the most part, the people that are here that think that this is a school that you can play around in and just waste other people's times, they're pretty much not going to cut it. The session recording, the level of intensity, I can't even begin to describe how much more intense this class is than audio post. And you remember how much I was stressing last week if you saw the videos. I mean, I was stressing pretty hard about audio post. And that was mainly because, it just wasn't that interesting. You know what I mean? Like, that's not really what I'm here to do, kind of. But session recording, it's a bit different because this is what we're all here to do, but it's a lot more intense. So I'm not sure if those two factors are kind of going to level each other out or what. But this month is crazy. So I'll start you off with the basics of, let's see. There is no midterm, but there is a final exam. And instead of the midterm, there are 5 quizzes. 5 quizzes. And I think each quiz is worth like 3 to 5% or something. I can't quite remember. I think they're worth 3% each because I think they add up to like 15 or something. Let me open up the syllabus. Because the syllabus actually, we have to reference it a lot. So I got it over here on my second screen. Let's see. Okay, so study quizzes are 10%. There are 5 quizzes at 2% each. No, those are the study guides. Okay, the study guides are pretty much the homeworks that you have to do that are due on the day of whatever quiz. For example, study guide number 3 is going to be turned on the day of quiz number 3. You get the idea. All right, so there's 5 study guides, obviously, to go with the quizzes. And those are 2% each. So that adds up to 10% of the grade. And the study guides is literally an all or nothing thing. It is pass or fail. So if you make one tiny mistake on your study guide, you get the whole thing wrong. You get both points not even there. So you get a 0 for one small mistake. And with the study guides, basically they're PDFs, and with the new Adobe Reader, you can type into them. So we have to type them up. And for each answer, we have to give a reference, or we have to cite it of where we got it. For example, the first question, you write your answer, and then you would say, I got this from the Recording Engineer's Handbook, page 52, paragraph 3. Okay, for every question. If you don't do that, you get no points. You get a 0 on it. Even if you did all the questions correct and everything else was cited, if you don't cite that one question, it's a 0, automatic. So yeah, we have to cite everything. We have to print them off on our own and staple them on our own, and then turn them in, of course. And the printing off and the stapling, goddamn, that's gonna get expensive, man. Ink is freaking expensive. I have staples. Staples aren't too expensive, but the ink and the paper is freaking expensive, and I think it's a serious, huge load of BS that. Even the library charges like 5 cents a page or something. In my opinion, this school makes millions of dollars. I mean, this is a very successful business. I mean, it's not a school; it is a business. And they are making lots and loads of money. And they can't even print off our stuff for us or give us staples or whatever, because basically the instructor, his name is Ken. He was like, look, if you need to arrange for yourself a way to print off papers right now, he's like, you need to at least have 2 or 3 different printers that you can use to print stuff off, because If you're gonna rely on only the library's printer, man, you're pretty much gonna screw yourself in the end. He's like, don't rely on just the library printer. And I'm just like, how do they expect people who don't even have a printer or anything at all to make it like that? They're just gonna have to fail the thing. It's ridiculous, man. So that I'm saying it's bull crap. Like seriously, I do not like that at all. So that's my bit about the study guides. And you also have to print off all your own. Like for example, we have on the topic of printing stuff off, we have to print off our own input sheets, our recall sheets, basically any documentation that has to do with the studio, we have to print off ourselves, which I think is still bullshit too. Anyway, so to continue with the grade thing here. So quizzes 10%, or study guides 10%. Quizzes are 35% overall. There's 5 quizzes at 7% each, and they are all fill in the blank. Every quiz, every question is fill in the blank. Which brings me to the final exam, which is only 12%. It's 50 questions, but it's still all fill in the blank. So everything we have to do this entire month is all fill in the blank. They don't do the Scantron stuff. So this class is, you have to study. Seriously, you have to do well on study guides. You have to study the study guides. You have to study the notes that you take separate from the study guides. And then you got to do good on the quizzes and the test. There is a chance to be exempt from the final exam, and to do that, you have to have a 95 average or above on all the quizzes. So basically, the 35% of the quizzes, you have to have a 95 or above to be exempt from the final exam. So, of course, that's obviously what I'm shooting for, because I do not want to have to come in on that Saturday. The lab grade is 13%, final exam 12%. The practical exam is 20% because that's what this class is really all about, is getting in the studio and doing the stuff with the gear, with hands-on stuff. So the practical exam is 20%. And basically the lab rooms, there's 2 separate lab rooms. One has an AMEC and the other has an SSL. And basically from what we were told, we do not know which one we're going to be on. He said you could have most of your labs in the one, like in Studio A, but then you could, so what do you say? You could have, 80% of your labs in Studio A and only a couple in Studio B, but you might still get your practical in Studio B. You just don't know. You have to be prepared no matter what. And again, that's another thing. That's just fucking retarded, man. Like, why would you only give us 2 labs, for example, in one lab room or in one studio, and then put us in another one for way more time, but then test us on the other one? I don't get it. It's stupid. So I don't like that either. And I'm naming a lot of the bad stuff because it kind of ticked me off today. Because even Ken, the instructor, he was like, I've never worked in a studio with less than $1 million worth of gear. He's like, I work with the big boys on the big boy toys with the big boy budgets. I have never worked in anything less. And I'm like, all right, man, let's not be full of ourselves here. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, and the thing is, the only reason I say that because I don't know who he is or what he's worked on or anything. All I know is he's this guy telling us how hard the month is going to be. That's all we talked about today in lecture, was how hard this month is going to be. We didn't talk about, we took notes a little bit on signal flow. Actually, we just copied it down. We didn't even talk about it. So, yeah, we spent about 3.5 hours, about 3 hours, because we got out a little early, talking about what we're going to be doing this month and how hard it's going to be and how much we have to study and how much work it's going to be. So, yeah, great first lecture. So this class, I mean, it's going to be fun. I've heard the labs are great. The labs are going to be a load of fun. But as far as the lectures go, I've heard it's pretty much BS. And, it's not that I can't handle it. I feel like my instructor almost was making it out to be harder than it really is going to be, like kind of scaring us. Excuse me. But I mean, I'm just not sure yet, So I'm like tonight I'm already doing memorizing the signal flow stuff, and because we have to know it, we have to draw it all out by hand. Basically, it's the same thing. They're going to give us boxes, and we have to fill them in. And I think we had about a little over 100 pages to read for homework, which is fucking absurd. I mean, it is ridiculous. I mean, okay, read this chapter and these couple pages for homework. I get that. But we had to read chapters 1 and 2, which goes from page 20 to 81, and then we had to read pages 271 to, hang on, let me see, 271 to 310, so that's 40 more pages, so 120 pages for homework. Freaking ridiculous, man. Like, and on top of that, we have to study. Like, not only do we have to read, but because the reading doesn't count as studying, like, we have to study the other stuff and do the study guides. Just F&A, man. This month is going to be ridiculous, especially since it's crammed into 3 weeks. Yet again, you know, the last time that we had a major break was December, and I was taking digital audio, DAU, digital audio and theory, and MIDI class. And those are 2 of the harder classes at Full Sail that I had to take in 3 weeks. This is one of the harder classes at Full Sail that, yet again, I am taking in 3 weeks. It's kind of annoying. It kind of ticks me off a little bit that I don't know, the scheduling is just weird. I either think that they should take a couple more weeks off and have 1 less class in a year, or just not give us a fucking break. You know what I'm saying? So it just kind of irks me really bad how they have it planned out. And I know I'm bitching a lot in this video, and that's just because I'm kind of getting riled up about it. I know it's going to be a fun class. It's just, goddamn, is the workload ridiculous. And that's what he says. The first thing he says is, welcome to the first day of your job, or your new job for the next 30 days. You know, and then he says something like, oh, yeah, so he said, welcome to your new job for the next 30 days. You are all now on a probationary period, and you have to prove to me why I should not fire you. I mean, all right, so I get he's making a point. He's making, all right, this is going to be some hard work. Prove to me that you can do it. Prove to me that you can learn this stuff and that you want to be here. But, I mean, just Christ, man, like, way to put a negative impression first thing. I mean, I don't know. That's just kind of how I took it. Was like, whoa, man, like, okay, what do we do? You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. Apparently, I have kind of a friend that is a month ahead of me, and he was telling me about this class. I asked him a little earlier today, and I was like, you got any advice for this class? And he's like, yeah, dude, this and this and this, and he was like, I'll be surprised if they haven't changed anything from last month, because apparently the fail rate, like the grade average for the class last month, was horrible because it's such a difficult class. And just because of the way they run things in the lecture, pretty much everybody in the class I heard wrote like a full paragraph of complaints, I guess, about the lecture portion. I heard the labs are fantastic, but the lectures just totally suck. So yeah, I don't know, man. This class is gonna be a doozy. Let me see. Still got the syllabus open, and I mean, I know that this place is definitely meant to present a challenge and to make us work. It's like a full-time job, you know. It's meant to emulate that, but I just think some of the things and the ways that they go about presenting the ideas, I don't know. I think my instructor just kind of rubbed me the wrong way today, and and don't get twisted. I mean, you know, that's just a common saying. I kind of got the wrong impression of the guy today, and I didn't really like it. So yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Because there's a lot going on this month. I think I'm just gonna keep this video to just the 20 minutes for now. We'll keep digging into this this class later this week. Tomorrow I gotta get up at 8 again to make it on down to music business, and then tomorrow night I'm picking up Mina from the airport at like 7:30, and then at 9 I have lab. So I'm probably just gonna have her. I might have to have her drop me off at lab or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I gotta take a nap tomorrow at some point. I gotta do laundry. I'd like to practice drums. Thank whatever higher power, if you believe, which I don't really believe in a higher power, I guess. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Religious people have been kind of annoying lately, so I apologize if you are religious. I respect that everybody has their own beliefs, but I'm just kind of like, keep it away from me, because it's annoying. I mean, and you know what? I'm probably just getting easily ticked off by everything because it's just I'm like everybody's so tense. We need next week. The break is coming. Like this starts on Saturday for me. Just relax and do nothing for a whole week. That just seriously, it's gonna be so nice. So I apologize that I'm being so negative today. I'm just, man, yeah, that guy kind of just set the wrong impression on me, and I'm ready for break. You know what I mean? It's stupid that they started 1 week of class. Just fucking retarded. I don't know. I mean, it was a good day. Don't get me wrong. It's just, man, I was irked today, except for my lab schedule, which kind of sucked, but kind of didn't. Once again. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna stop bitching because I'm tired of being negative. I'm gonna do something, and actually, I'm not uploading these videos right away because, I told Mina, I kind of told her that I was thinking about getting a nose ring, which is what I wanted. But the guy that pierced it, he was like, well, I usually start people off with studs so it has time to heal, and then you can upgrade to the ring, just because these are a little easier to take care of at first. And yeah, so I'm gonna surprise Mina tomorrow. There's only like 2 other people that know I have. Well, I guess my friends at school, but there's only 2 people that really know that I got my nose pierced. And I was like, don't tell Mina. You know, it's a surprise. So she's gonna come from the airport. At this point, she'll already be home once you're seeing this, probably. And she's gonna be all surprised and everything. So I'm ready for her to be home. I'm gonna need her this next month to help take care of me, for real. Cause I'm gonna be gone a lot, and I'm gonna have to I don't know. I'm gonna need her support big time, and I'm glad that she's willing to give me that because. Let me tell you, you gotta have friends here. You gotta have someone to help take care of it. Whether it's a roommate, whether it's a best friend, a really awesome friend, or your significant other, whatever it is, because you cannot do this thing alone. Let me tell you, it is hard. So hopefully, to wrap up the video, this month doesn't end up sucking because I don't like my instructor. Which is an asinine reason to not have the class be awesome, but it's a factor, you know what I mean? It really is. Like, the instructors can really make or break a class. So I expect it to be pretty good. I apologize for making it seem like it's totally going to suck, but it could not. We'll find out. Stick with me, folks. It should be a great month. But this is the month that we've all been waiting for, the month that we get into a studio and we record music. Yes. Okay, so until next time, guys, take it easy. Again, I guess my name is Andrew, if you guys don't know. Feel free to find me on Facebook. I also have a Twitter. It's all /Phareus Opus, just like the YouTube page that you're on right now, I guess. So, yeah, feel free to message me wherever. Quick note, if you message me on Facebook, friend me first, send me a friend request, because anybody that's not my friend, apparently the messages get sent to, other messages, and I hardly ever check that because I forget about it. So I might not get back to you if you don't friend me. And I'm not saying that as, it's just the way Facebook works. I don't get it. So, but, yeah, feel free to do that. I'm cool. I promise I'm fun to hang around and whatever. So, yeah, I guess until next time. Take it easy, guys. I will see you soon.